Welcome to our channel. What am I showing you today? I'm going to show you how our bare bone budget garage stays on track even when it comes to the accent decor. Almost everything that I'm going to show you in my little studio garage has been acquired, and that's the code word for get it for free. I've acquired many things, starting with these license plates. You see this license plate? I started collecting 40 years ago. Now, I taught auto repair at the college, and word got out that if you bring Mr. Sanchez some license plates, he's going to sweeten up your grade. And here they came. License plates and license plates for decades. I haven't counted. I bet you I've got close to 500 license plates acquired for free. Now, I've got some special ones right in here. This one here, let's see what you veterans think. Former POW, prisoner of war. That's a big deal. Prisoner of war. It's bad enough going to war, but to be a prisoner of the enemy, this is a big, big deal. Now, all I know is this was issued in 1989. I don't remember the student. So here is a former POW license plate. I don't think they issue those anymore. Another one. Not only did my students bring me license plates, some of my customers. The customers are the people that I'd fix their car. Now this one might be the most valuable of all. This one is off a president's car. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You see that gentleman in the picture? That's Mr. James Daring. He was a pilot in the Korean War, and story goes he got shot down and spent some time in the water before he got rescued. He saw my collection and he brought me this license plate from this Confederate Air Force Museum, where they not only fly old airplanes, and that's what his involvement was, they also have a few antique vehicles, including this old Lincoln that President Roosevelt used to drive in. So I have a president's car. Sure, and they brought me some personalized license plates. So I got some personal license plate. I got a state official. Do they still issue state official license plate? I remember this guy. I'm not sure why. David Wise. Usually I remember them if they were outstanding or troublemakers. Here's another personalized. I think that individual brought me 3 of these. Now this one, even though it may not be special to everyone, it's special to me. This is off a shrimp boat. This came from a couple of my students that were brothers that had recently migrated here to the coastal bend. Now their families must have been fishermen or shrimpers back in Vietnam, because when they came here 25, 30 years ago, they were not welcomed by the locals. The locals didn't want these foreigners fishing their waters. Well, first of all, it's not their waters. And if you can't stand a little competition, get out of the kitchen. This one here, I like this one because of those brothers. They were hardworking, never late, never absent, always did their assignment. I hope you guys see this. This one. I think the way they explained it to me, when a veteran got deployed, he had a choice to take his vehicle wherever they were going to go. And one guy, he said they put these license plate on there just to keep them going. I've got a couple of those where you would use these license plates on your American car in a foreign country. Now, out of all of those, maybe this one is actually worth some money. I went to a car show, and sure, they had vendors, and I'll agree, these motorcycle license plates, they're harder to come by than your regular license plate. 1953, I wonder what this was on. All of this free. That's amazing, yes? Over here, these AC gauges. Now the students, you know, they were a little rough on the equipment. I hope they didn't do it on purpose, but I've got a bunch of rookies working with equipment and gauges, and they were either careless or they didn't care, but many of these gauges were damaged. I save them and use them as I need it. Let's go on. This traffic light. Pretty neat. No, I didn't get it for free. I found it on Craigslist, $25, and I did spend another $30 to put that little module to give me this blinking effect. So I did spend a little bit here once in a while. This sign, free. 45 years ago, my father-in-law, Juan Perez, had a good friend, Herman Gutierrez. Now Herman, he was a professional sign painter. He started teaching at a middle school. I believe it was Toloso Middle School. And he got his students to paint this for me for free. I bought the plywood, and I'm pretty sure he provided the rest of it, and they did an excellent job of providing me with this sign. Now, Mr. Gutierrez did not sign it because he's not the artist. It looks like a person named C. Gonzalez, and I'm going to guess that's probably a Carlos Gonzalez. Carlos, if you're out there, thank you, sir, for helping me out. Let's go on some more. To me, these grease guns are amazing. Some of these are probably at least 70 years old. Free. My dad, the best wheeler dealer, negotiator. Once he had the seller's name, he was in control. Anyway, he'd buy me all kinds of tools. Now the truth is I never used them, but now I am. I'm using it here as accent decor. Now these grease guns, they're not like the ones you see up there. They don't have a lever. They don't even have a trigger. You just had to push and the plunger would move. Okay, this wood, courtesy of Curbside Fencing. During the bulk pickup on the city, it's easy to find piles of this wood. Free. Grease guns free. These lights, well, I did buy them a few years ago for my garden. I put some LED lighting in there. It's a good accent to my display of antique vintage grease guns. Over here, free. My dad, again, he just keep bringing me stuff all the time. I didn't use it, but I kept it, and I'm so glad that I didn't get rid of it. These add to this old mechanical's garage. More free stuff. My dad always bringing me stuff. Now the truth is, I never used it. And here's a little true story. I tried to get rid of this in a garage sale I had. I had it for $1. Nobody wanted it, so I just kept it, and I'm so glad I did. This guy should be worth at least $25 because I know I stopped at an antique shop and I just felt like buying a little something, and I paid $20 for this little guy. This came from some kind of auto shop where the advisor would work with the customer trying to get his car fixed. It turns out this is a good place to put some of my tools and lock them up so they'll be secure. This wood, more Curbside Fencing. This metal, this vintage tin from buildings and barns. Thank you to our associate professor, Bob Sassy, and his brother. They got it from a ranch around OG. That would be Orange Grove. Some of you know where that is. More free stuff. At the college, I'd get some perks once in a while. All vehicles used to use the same gear oil for their manual transmissions and the differentials. And you'd put a bunch of 90 weight in here and you'd pump it in there. Today, manual transmissions use all kinds of different fluids. So do the differentials. So this became obsolete and I acquired it. That means I got it for free. Awesome. 1952 Chevrolet pickup. Pretty complete truck. It was my dad's. Now, did I get it for free? No, not exactly. I showed him a couple of the videos where I was fixing it up. I got to the point where I was going to start spending some money, and I told him it sure would be nice if I knew that truck was in my name. So he does this. Sometimes he's a man of few words. And when I got the paperwork in front of it, sure, he signed it. I laid down a $100 bill just for fun, and he took it. So I got this Chevrolet for $100. Awesome. Folks, I hope you enjoyed what I showed you. If you did, give us a little thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thank you.